so many issues with nature and conservation, like in the recent years, like at Sandy Neck, the naturalist was talking to us about how like the endangered sea turtles there, all the wildlife, and like us going to Sandy Neck, doing a project on it. It kind of just like tells the story of like how these things are like, you know, they're important and they're beautiful. They're like really like, all of them balance the ecosystem, and it's really necessary, and we have to conserve them. And like, it's just kind of like telling their story.
And her mom was just making her get rid of it, so I put him in the tank with my other turtle. And like within like 2 months, he was dead. I don't know what happened.
And you can see this little tiny point right here. That's its egg too.
For art, it's a great inspiration. Like I said, it inspired me when I normally don't do much like that. So it's always going to be a source. Nature's always going to be there, or hopefully will always be there. And on that note, it's really important for us to talk about that stuff and work on types of projects like these, because there are problems with nature being taken away, and erosion and deforestation. So you really need to make people notice stuff like that and work towards bettering the problems that we have.
And to feed, and when they're a little bit older, they're going to eat snails and they'll eat little tiny fish. But this is going to fuel him, keep him alive until he makes his way out to Mars.
This is just a great way to get them to think authentically. Like, this is an authentic artistic experience where you're going out, you're doing the field research, and just to show them that inspiration can come from anywhere.
It felt really nice and kind of like free and really comfortable for me to be out there. I felt like that's where I should be, in nature.
It's really nice being out in nature, and I feel like every time I go out, you know, I gain a lot from it. It's just like really beautiful to see it all, and I don't get that many chances to go out and see that much. And it was like a lot packed into one day, like a lot of things to look at and appreciate, so.
No. Are you?
Wow! Oh my gosh! That's so cool!
When I found the bones, it was a spiritual experience. Okay, I felt my brain like explode. It was the coolest thing, because I pulled up to the field trip thinking like, wow, I really hope to find some bones here today, you know what I mean? Kind of like half joking things. I didn't think it was like possible.
What did I just say in the thing? I wanted to find a skeleton today. That was like my priority.
Wow, this is amazing! Oh my, that's gorgeous. Yeah. Woohoo! Good find.
Do I get to keep this? Can I claim land right now?
Like, brushed over some grass. It's just this gigantic, full vertebrae. The ribs of like what she said was like a dead seal, maybe. Such a like golden find. I was so happy about it. I really didn't think I was gonna find anything cool that day.
Seeing multiple perspectives in my piece, it's me who took a photo looking down at when they had just found the bones. Everyone's looking at different things, and I'm doing the main piece of my perspective, and then I'm gonna do little side views of everyone else and what they would be seeing at that very moment.
I started out with a piece of paper, and then I put some plants on it, like plants that I had pressed before in my sketchbook. Then I kind of like drew certain pieces of images that I took while I was there. Just kind of took different fragments from the day that I liked and started to put them together and change their form a bit.
Well, I didn't really have that many ideas while I was there. Not that I remember, but later I was going through the pictures of like things I wanted to use maybe, and I thought that the mushrooms were really cool. The ones we saw there, they were like this big, so I just kind of wanted to like blow them up more. And like, I don't get to work with ceramics that often, but I feel like I'm like pretty all right with ceramics. I really like using it, so I just figured I'd go with that.
We're always looking for opportunities to take what the kids are learning in the classroom and bring it out into the community. Whether that is them applying what they know to some idea or place, or pulling references from some experience, or if it's exhibiting in a different situation. So the Sandy Neck project is kind of an attempt to get them to do all those things. But on that day, they had a response to the plays that was pretty cool. They had an enthusiasm for what they were seeing out there and sharing it together. And it was neat to see high schoolers respond to something like kids. They don't always do that. They don't always have the freedom to do that, socially to do that. And they really did as a group. It was a joyful experience for them, or at least it seemed like it. So that was something I've learned from them, from this group. You don't always see that, it was cool.
I loved seeing their reaction while they were at Sandy Neck. Like they were like little kids again, in this sense of wonder and how they've been to this place a bunch of times, but it was like looking at it with fresh eyes. So I learned that they were able to take on that persona, which is kind of interesting.
That is a precious commodity in our day and age. It's tough being a kid these days. They have a lot of pressures on them, lots of expected of them, and it's different even than people that were in high school not that long ago, 10 years ago. It's a different world now with a different set of demands for young people. So to see them having an opportunity to be kids, which they should be kids, they are kids. Even if they're young adults, they should still be connected with that part of themselves. It's great. That's what you want.
Maybe focusing on certain things that they wouldn't focus on normally in nature, or kind of getting a different perspective at something that they've seen many times.
It's really cool to have something in town hall. I've never really pushed out my art to any big source like that. I've never really pushed any of my projects out to a source like that where it'd be open to so many people. People will be able to see it, people will get to look at it, and if even one person looks at it and says, that's really cool, I want to go do something else, then I've done enough.
I'm pretty proud that something I made's at town hall. I really like that people are going to be able to see it, and I hope people are going to ask questions about it, where it came from. I hope people know that it came from Sandy Neck, or along with all the other projects, and they also feel the need to want to go out there and see these things for themselves, you know what I mean?
I guess the biggest thing that I hope for with the public seeing our students' work is that they will never underestimate a high school student and their abilities. There's so many intellectual responses that I'm sure you've heard of in the interviews, that these kids are so much deeper than maybe some people assume when they're looking at a high school student. And I think this is a great way to show them what they can do.